Boxing fans, we're here with Yahoo's Kevin Iole. Kevin, just before I get to talk to you about the Manny Pacquiao-Timothy Bradley fight, how many fights do you estimate you would have covered of Manny Pacquiao over the years?
I have covered, I think, every fight that he's had since 2001. So it's 25 fights.
Got you. Now, looking back a few years when he moved up in weight to challenge Oscar De La Hoya, were you kind of surprised that he made such a bold move with that fight?
I was in the minority then. I didn't think he had a prayer.
Really?
And I knew Manny was the better fighter. I had no doubt. At that point in his life, Oscar was at the end of the line, and I knew Manny was the better fighter. But I just didn't think Manny could hang. I thought Oscar had enough left. That was about a year after he had fought Mayweather, a year and a half. I thought he had enough left that the size was going to be a factor. And I was just totally stunned by the way Pacquiao manhandled him.
And now we have the challenge of Timothy Bradley, undefeated champion, junior welterweight. What are your thoughts on Tim Bradley? What impression has he left on you?
I have been, if you read stuff I've written over the years, I've been a Tim Bradley fan for a long time as a fighter. I think he's a really good fighter. I think he's got a lot of skills, and he's a really smart guy. I think the question on him in this fight is twofold. Number one, what's his beard like? Can he take the punch from Manny Pacquiao? Because we know he can take one big punch like Kendall Holt. He got somersaulted backwards. And he managed to take that. But Pacquiao's going to hit him a lot more often. Punch after punch after punch. And that's a different type of chin. Can you take that, stay in the pocket, and continue to take that and fight? So we have to see what he can do there. And also, does he have the power to keep Pacquiao off him? If Pacquiao's able to swarm him and just really throw without any concern, I think that's a problem for Bradley. But if Bradley has enough of a pop that he makes Manny think before coming in, I think that changes the fight.
Now, last year Pacquiao, his victories over Mosley and Juan Marquez, he wasn't as explosive. Do you attribute that to the style matchup of the two fights, or do you think physically he is starting to slip a little bit?
I think anytime you get to be 33 and had as many fights as he did, certainly, you have to think that you're on the decline. So I think it's reasonable to think Manny's declined a little bit, but I still think he's an elite fighter. I think if you look at his 2011, he blew Mosley out. It was an old Mosley. Mosley didn't want to fight. Mosley ran. And unfortunately, for boxing fans who paid their money, Shane was just basically at the end of the line at that point in his career. So I don't think you can really criticize Manny for that particular performance. But the Marquez fight, I take it more that Marquez knows how to fight Manny Pacquiao. He was in the ring with him 24 rounds up to that point. Marquez is one of the smartest boxers in the world. I put Marquez up there with Floyd Mayweather as maybe the two smartest fighters out there. And I know he looked, and James Toney, of course, would be another one. But I kind of regard James as a retired fighter. But I think if those three guys would be the ones that I think are the smartest boxers, and being able to, game plan and figure things out. I think Marquez, from the experience of being in with them 24 rounds, and having the two fights, watching the tape, working, I think he just came up with a brilliant game plan. He just knows how to fight him. So I'm not so convinced that there's this really big decline in Pacquiao. Small decline, sure. I think that's true, but is there a major decline? I'm not so sure of that.
Now, has it been frustrating on your end to have heard for years about a possible Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, and it looks like that probably might not even happen?
Yeah, of course. I'm a sports fan, and if you're a sports fan, you want to see the best against the best. In the Super Bowl, you don't want to see the team that finished third in the AFC North against the team that finished second in the NFC East. You want to see the best teams play, and that's what we want in boxing. I mean, we got two guys in the same weight class, relatively the same age, that are the best out there. We want to see those guys fight each other, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous on Mayweather's part. It's ridiculous on Pacquiao's part. They should fight.
Gotcha. Thanks.